Happy Monday, y'all. It's Lippy. Clean hands, fresh cup of coffee. You guys, hey, that's a great Monday if you ask me. But we're going to talk about my superfood. Of course, you done seen in the title. And some of you are probably saying, yuck. Well, there's some of you that love it like Lippy. So we're going to talk about it for just a minute. But let me tell y'all the trick to liver. Now, this is beef liver, not chicken liver. Can you see down in here? When I get my package out, I rinse my liver. Now, you don't want to do it too hard because it's an organ. It'll tear apart. After I rinse it, I put it into a clean bowl. I like the stainless steel. It holds the coldness. And I set my liver pieces down in it with a heaping teaspoon. Now, this is just 4 slices. I will be cutting them smaller. But a heaping teaspoon of salt, non-iodized salt. And I swoosh it around and I let it sit an hour. And that's what it's been doing, sitting for an hour. Now, I'm going to drop the camera a little bit so you can see what it looks like. Because there's a reason why you want to soak your liver in a little bit of a brine. See, that's kind of yucky water, isn't it? It's got a lot of blood in it. Because what that salt does is it cleans the organ, the liver. It pulls all the impurities out, draws the blood out. So when I rinse this, it's going to be clean because it is an organ meat. Now, I eat liver twice a month. Beef liver, and then I'll do fried chicken livers. I normally don't exceed twice a month. I would love to, but I do try to be very strict with the amount of vitamin A and the amount of vitamin B that I receive with the iron from the liver. Now, I do carry a low A, extremely low B, and iron deficiency. I do take injections. So that's why I only eat this twice a month. But it's also one of my favorite meals. Liver, onions, and gravy with rice. And I'll have a sliced tomato and a cucumber on the side. Now, Mr. Buddy will not be joining me for dinner. Not happening. He'll do chicken livers. But you see that little bitty red crock pot? Yeah, it's got a skinless, boneless chicken breast in there and it's cooking. He gonna have chicken tacos. It ain't Taco Tuesday, but he gets he gets chicken tacos. And I get liver. So I'll eat today and I'll eat the rest tomorrow for my lunch. So, like I said, mine's just a small package. It has 4 pieces in it. I will cut them in half. That yields me 8. And it'll have some left over that I can take and share with my brother because he loves it. Now, let me say this. If you are on iron supplements, if you are pregnant, and of course you're taking iron supplement, this is something I wouldn't recommend to eat if you're pregnant, okay? Not a medical doctor. This is just what my mom told me. This is what my own research has told me to confirm what I grew up hearing. So just know that the reason why I eat it is to get my A, to get my B12, and to increase my iron. Plus, it is delicious. But it is considered one of the top superfoods. So do your research. If it's liver that you like, you're getting benefits. Oh, and this does have magnesium. I think it's 3 ounces. You get about 12 milligrams of magnesium. Still, there again, still something good. So all I'm going to do is rinse this well because remember, it's been soaking in salt water, a heaping teaspoon to these 4 slices, an hour, and I did cover with water. And then we're going to run through the rest of the ingredients to pull this together. My rice on the stove is already cooked and ready. So I will be eating early today so I can have a little snack this evening while he eats his chicken tacos. He don't know what he's missing. Just saying. Because he going to walk in and be like, oh, it's liver day. Okay, I've got these drained and rinsed and sliced. Because like I said, I slice them in half. This is calf liver. Not beef liver, but it's still beef. The only difference is your calf liver tends to be thinner than your, say, beef liver, even though this is beef liver. You can look at the package and see. This is all my supermarket had last month, so when I bought my 2 packages for the month, I chose the calf liver if I wanted to get it there and not have to travel. So that's the only difference. This is cut thinner. You're going to need 1 large sliced sweet onion. I like mine like this. You can dice them however you want. I have 2 cups of water and I added about a real heaping teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon beef consomme, okay? And I made sure that it was diluted very well. So that's 2 cups of beef stock you're gonna need. You're gonna need some oil for browning. I'm using my own lard, but you can use any oil. I would not use an olive oil because it's going to change the flavor. Here I've got some all-purpose flour that I have seasoned, and I'll show you the seasoning. This is just for dredging. You're going to need about a tablespoon of cornstarch, and the seasonings that I added to the flour mixture is black pepper, salt, non-iodized, and my voodoo dust. Now that's all I've added, those 3, to my flour dredge. You're also going to need onion soup mix. I do make my own, but you're going to need onion soup mix, and you're going to need some butter. The first thing we want to do is get our skillet hot. And I've got my stove eye about a 7. We want to get it warm, and then we're going to go ahead and saute our onions first. That's the first thing you got to do. Our skillet is getting warm over there, and we're going to go ahead and doctor up our beef broth. And I'm going to use probably 2 tablespoons of my onion soup mix. 1 tablespoon. Oh, did y'all see that? Lord, what a mess. 1 tablespoon of my cornstarch. Good grief. Now, you don't want this broth hot, guys. You need it just room temperature. Look at that mess. All right, we're going to set this aside, clean up the mess. Good gracious. Okay, I'm going in with about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to turn our heat down to about a number 5. In goes our large sliced sweet onion. And we want these transparent with a little bit of char on them. Little caramel color, not heavy. I am happy right here. You see they're translucent, a little bit of char, but not much. So we're gonna stop here. Now it's time to dredge them. And they're very, very delicate, guys. And that's all I want to do. I don't want to get a heavy coating on them. I just want enough to dust them. They're a lot easier to handle once you get them into the dredge. I'm going to get them all dredged up, and then we'll go back to the stovetop. The stove eye is sitting on a number 6. Like I said, you can use any oil of your choice. I am using the lard that I put up. Now, we're not trying to deep fry these. So I'm going to stop here and see if this is enough oil. I just want enough to coat the bottom of this skillet. I think that's going to be just enough, guys. Just enough. Okay, our oil is hot. So carefully placing our liver down in here, and hear it sizzle. Now, can you see down in here where it's just enough oil to coat the bottom and they all can fry? Like I said, I'm sitting on a number 6. And now is a good indication that it is ready to turn, because you're seeing the blood just on the top. And when it starts pulling to the very top, you know it's time to turn it over. We're going to let these go about 2 minutes, and then we're going to start putting all the goodies in it. I'm going to turn my heat down to about a 4. In goes our onions. Get them all on top. Here goes our doctored up broth. Make sure it's good and stirred. Because as this cooks, this broth is going to reduce and it's also going to thicken. And I am going to use the whole 2 cups. Now, if you don't like this much onion flavor, you can leave it out of your homemade or semi-homemade gravy. I like a lot of onion. Now, this is just a browning sauce. I use Savoy's. There's various brands. I believe there's one, Kitchen Bouquet. I do this because I want that depth of dark color. It's not necessary to the recipe. It's necessary to my eyes. Okay, we're going to bring this up to a simmer boil. Now it's come up to that simmering boil. I'm going to put a lid on, but I'm going to vent the lid because I want the water to escape and I want this to reduce by half. And then we're going to finish it with a little bit of pats of butter to give that good sheen on the gravy. So we're looking at turning it down to about a 4. Within 15-20 minutes we're done, because all I want to do is reduce the gravy, evaporate the water. The liver is pretty much cooked, okay? And we're ready to go. 15 minutes later, and look at that goodness. Like I said, I added 2 small pats of butter just to give that good sheen on that gravy. We must have our green vegetable. And there you have liver and onions. And guys, this is a beautiful plate. Now, quality control, you have to taste it. The liver cuts like butter. I want a little bit of everything. Onion, liver, rice. Now that gravy's gonna be rich. And like I said, you can omit the onion soup mix. Whoops, I dropped my piece. Or you can just use it and omit the fresh onion. It's really to what your palate is, but a traditional beef liver, onions and gravy, here it is. So now it's quality control, and it's hot. Oh my gosh. And it never gets old. Twice a month, and it never gets old. And that rice. Lippy's happy. Lippy is happy. So, for the ones that actually eat liver, and you don't know how to cook it, or you cook it different, here's you a recipe or another recipe to try. It is out of this world. Now, you can serve it with mashed potatoes. Many of you know I don't do a lot of potatoes, but I do a lot of rice. And yes, that leftover rice, if I have leftovers, which I will, I always put it in the freezer, and I turn it into a rice pudding. I use it to stuff bell peppers. It's endless what you can do with that. Now I got the hiccups, and I have to sign off. I guess I could turn the camera off and wait, but let me see if I can get through this. All right, I held my breath for a little bit. It didn't help. So, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.